this is where the fun begins.
What is up, everybody?
But we've seen this movie before.
What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? You never know what the loudest mouth on the fan base and his Wild Band of Misfits are going to say.
I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hawg Pen with your hosts, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
Let me talk to you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen, and the energy level is still way up there because guess what? Arkansas returns to the promised land. Well, I am always like your host from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen, Razorback Zach, alongside my broadcast partner, buddy, and the glue that holds the whole damn thing together, which is professionally proven, by the way, Marcus MC Carlton. What's up, dude?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Oh.
Yeah, we're still riding a little high right now. Yeah,
a little. I'm like,
wait till we beat LSU, and then that riding high is going to skyrocket.
I'm like the executive assistant in a room with Willie Nelson, Jimi Hendrix, and Snoop Dogg all at the same time, dude. Come on now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, right. Hope everybody had a great week. Hey, if you guys want in on the action tonight, leave us a question or a comment in the Cam Productions live fan feedback, because we are bringing the heat tonight like Vahiva Aloy at the plate or Zach Root on the mound.
Yeah.
So with that being said, got a couple of announcements before we jump into the obvious topic of the night. Be sure you guys check out the Final Jump Shot. My boy over here has been doing a fantastic job bringing historical and yet forgotten high school hoops back to the limelight. Episode 8 is out now. Is 9's dropping this week?
9 is going to drop this weekend, and 9 is going to be the conclusion of season 1. Now I'm not going to stop doing interviews, but I'm going to stop releasing for a little bit after episode 9. We're going to call that the season finale for season 1, but I've got enough episodes for season 2 and season 3 lined up. It's just a matter of getting those interviews recorded and getting everything put together. So the show's not going anywhere. We're just going to take a little break and kind of restructure some things and get a few things lined out before we debut season 2.
Well, with that being said, while you're at it, check out the ITHP podcast.
There you go.
Because here's the thing. All of our archived episodes are there, along with some pod exclusives. And to caveat off of that, we've only got about 2, maybe 2.5 weeks of baseball left.
Yep.
And so the conclusion of season 8 is coming to a rapid approach, I should say, not appearance, here in the next couple of weeks. But do not be afraid. ITHP is not going anywhere. We're going to take a few weeks off after the season finale, which is the week following, and I'm calling my shot now, MC. The week following, Arkansas brings the title home to Fayetteville.
Woo!
But the problem is on that episode, I don't think any of us are going to be able to talk much. For those of you that don't know, when Arkansas brings that title home, MC has to do the one chip challenge. For those of you that don't know what that is, Dylan live on, and this happens live on air, by the way.
Yeah.
Dylan has to do the atomic gummy bear, and I will be eating another Popeye's biscuit, this time covered in Texas Pete hot sauce. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Not, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of weeks off, and then we're going to come back probably second week of July and start breaking down the football schedule for you, getting you all set for the season 9 premiere of Inside the Hawg Pen the first week of August. And that's going to be about 4 weeks like we always do before the first kickoff of the year. But MC, football on the horizon. Now is not the time to talk football or basketball, but we do have some basketball news.
We do. We'll get to it a little bit later, but there's some big news for basketball, man. Big things happening right now. Just because it's June doesn't mean you can't have breaking hoops news.
Oh no. And for those of you that have been watching social media today, we got a little bit of football news that we're going to talk about at the end of the show too, and how the SEC has once again screwed Arkansas. But I have silver lining for all of that. But right now, it's not the time for that. Right now, we're talking Omaha, baby. Omaha
Hogs. You can knock the dust off that title from 3 years of being back on the back shelf, bring it back to the front, blow the dust off of it, because the Omaha Hogs are back in town.
Now, a few weeks ago, before the regionals, it was still the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the ones that I was thoroughly convinced Arkansas wasn't going to make it out of the regional. They were going to choke. That's what they always done.
Yeah.
I have never in my life, even with my daughter and my girlfriend watching, never in my life have I ever been more happier to be wrong. Because not only did they make it out of their regional and make it out of the super regional, they swept.
Yeah, both of them. First time since 2009. Yeah, and then on top of that, you get to go through all of the shenanigans and everything that goes along with Tennessee. Not to mention, for me personally, it's a big deal because two of my best friends in the world are both Tennessee fans. I don't hold that against them. They're good people outside of that. But to just kind of send the meme of, Tony Soprano smoking the cigar and not saying a word was pretty, that's a pretty good moment.
Now, before we jump into the matchups and the teams that are there, because I think this is the first time in the history of the College World Series that there are no teams repeating that have been there the previous year. I think I read that right somewhere.
I think I read that the same way you did, but yeah, that's pretty wild. And if you look at it, if you remember last year in 2024, half the field in Omaha was SEC teams, and now you go from having 4, you cut that in half, and you only got 2.
Yeah, and then come Monday,
they got to play each other.
And come Monday, there will only be 1.
Yeah,
and it ain't gonna be the Tigers of LSU.
Man, I hope we send those Cajuns home.
Before we get into that, and I'm not trying to bring the party down, but there is some things that I observed over the weekend that have me a little scared as a Razorback fan. And I'm not talking from a team perspective. I'm not talking about the way the team played or anything like that. I am talking about the GOAT.
You weren't the only one that noticed, apparently.
ITHP Royalties in the house. What's up, Casey? She says, hi, guys. I don't think I've ever seen DVH get emotional. I pray we bring it home this weekend. Go Hogs. Exactly.
Yeah.
I've watched DVH for years.
Mm-hmm.
For years. Dating as far back as the Super Regional 2009, 2011 at Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have never in my life seen him ever get emotional. But there was a couple of things. And again, I don't want to bring the party down, but it has to be talked about.
Yeah.
Number one, let's go back to the regional where he shook Creighton's head coach's hand because that was his final game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was picked up. I'm not too far behind you.
Yeah. The hot mic happened to pick that up.
And then you have the Gatorade bath. I haven't paid that much attention to, post-game shenanigans and all of that, but I've never seen the Gatorade bath hit DVH.
I've seen it hit him before, but I've never seen him react the way he did. Normally he kind of still has that scowl on his face of, not smiling, kind of like, damn it, why did you guys have to do that to me?
Of course, he was also smiling because it probably felt good because it was probably hot.
Yeah, I imagine it was pretty warm on Sunday.
Let's not go too far with it. But the thing about it though is you have that moment, but the big moment for me was the press conference.
Yep, the post game. Yep,
the big moment for me was right then in the post-game press conference where he broke down. This dude is an intimidating son of a you-know-what.
Yeah.
And for him to break like that, just, I don't know. Something about it.
I was talking to another friend of mine about it, and I was like, DVH is John Wayne. John Wayne doesn't show emotion like that, and DVH doesn't either. And to see that, it kind of makes you kind of cock your head to the side like, huh?
Well, I didn't know what everybody was talking about because I saw it on Twitter first before I saw the clip. And I was like, DVH and emotional in the same sentence? There ain't no way. There ain't no way. And for him to break that hard. But the other thing is, when have you ever seen him let the team celebrate with the fans for as long as they did? Jump into Lake Norm, circle the concourse, walk through the crowd, go to the Hawg Pen.
So Vahiva Aloy leading the team with the trophy up through the stands, all the way around the concourse and ending in the Hawg Pen was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen as far as like fan player interaction.
Oh, absolutely.
That's next level stuff. But that kind of goes back to, that mantra culture, whatever you want to call it, from the Hawaiian players on the team, because I saw an interview with the Aloy dad. I think his name's Jamie Aloy, and he's talking about that he wasn't surprised at all that Vahiva did that, because in their culture, it's all about giving back to the people who helped you get to where you are. And I mean, that was the ultimate, man. I mean, I can't imagine being there at BOM and seeing the team come parading around the concourse with that super regional trophy right here. I mean, that's just next level stuff, man.
Can you imagine what that team's going to do? Not if. I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm always, hey, pump the brakes. Let's get real about this for me. Yeah. I'm not saying that now. I'm saying when they bring it home. Can you imagine? It feels different.
I will say this. This time around feels different. It does not feel like 2022, 2019, or even 2018. This just feels different to me.
Dan Yoakum says Clay Henry said on halftime today that he is not going anywhere for a while.
He being Dave. So
yeah, he being Dave. And I hope, in a sense, I hope that's true. But on the other hand, I mean, almost 25 years, the only thing left on the resume to check is a national title.
Yep.
I mean, you've got a Golden Spikes winner, about to be 2 Golden Spike winners. Because just give Vahiva Aloy the damn thing already.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think whoever won the super regional between Arkansas and Tennessee, because Liam Doyle was a finalist for the Golden Spikes as well.
I don't think he ever had a shot up against Vahiva.
I mean, it's going to be Aloy.
I'm not saying that though as a homer though. I'm saying because he came into Arkansas, him being Liam Doyle, and got spanked not once but twice.
Yep.
All right. Yep. But like I said on the post-game show, maybe Liam Doyle should have listened to his catcher when they tried to, instead of popping his neck and looking everywhere.
I maybe he should have signed those cards a little different than the way he signed them.
But right.
If you know on that. I'm not going to go into detail on it, but hey, I got a comment here from one of our good friends over at Hog HQ, Matt Hart.
I was just getting to that, and I have some reservations about TV coming to Arkansas,
and
it may just be a follow-up hatred, my hatred for Tennessee baseball. I don't know because the antics that are going on at Tennessee, and you and I were talking about this pre-show.
Yeah,
the antics going on at Tennessee, I don't want that here at Arkansas. And again, I like my voice. They call me the loudest mouth in the fan base. But like they actually listen to me, I doubt it.
Right.
Although I don't believe in coincidences, but there are some things out there that we talk about that all of a sudden, poof, pops up on Twitter from people the next day.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. But no, I'm hoping he's not I don't want to. Okay, so let me compare him to another would-be name.
Okay.
Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
I can
Some similarities there.
I can completely see Tony Vitello playing Arkansas against Tennessee for Tennessee to shell out more money.
I could see that. Yeah.
However, DVH is the Nick Saban of the baseball world without all the national championships.
Without all the titles. Yeah.
Without all the titles. I can see Tony V coming here if he is handpicked by Dave and keeps that level of expectation. And I'm not saying, look, with every coaching staff, you're going to have a hiccup every now and then.
Right.
And you're going to miss Omaha. You're going to have a down year where you're not going to make the tournament, or you're going to have those moments. What I mean by that is the level of respect, the level of hell, I'll just say it, professionalism.
Yeah. I will throw this out there, and by no means am I trying to force Dave into the rocking chair, but I will say this: if Omaha ends the way we all want it to end, okay, you can read between the lines as to what I'm saying. I'm saying it without saying it. If it ends the way we want it to end, I could completely see DVH riding off into the sunset with God status, among the college baseball world.
Well, yeah.
And then handpicking one of his proteges, being Tony Vitello, to come in, and he hands him the keys to the kingdom. Now, if that was to happen, I would be very confident in saying that of all the things that Tony would bring with him from Tennessee, he would not bring the shenanigans that go on in the Tennessee dugout during a game because, and this is my theory on this, Tennessee had no baseball identity of recent history before Tony got there. Tony had to create a culture, create an attitude, if you will, because there was no kingdom for baseball in Tennessee. Right. If he comes here and he inherits the kingdom from DVH, he understands the assignment. He understands what is expected, what type of way you play the game. So I think he would leave all the shenanigans behind and be as close to the DVH model as he could be.
Right. Real quick, we're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue our talk. Arkansas's journey to the national championship. You're listening to Inside the Hawg Pen. Back right after this.
Meeks Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Meeks Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Meeks Design.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside the Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hawg Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hawg Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside Inside the Hawg Pen, bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hawg Pen.
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Meeks Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Razorback Zach, Marcus, MC Carlton, the dynamic duo of Razorback podcast, hanging out with you tonight. But yeah, continuing our discussion about DVH, it just kind of makes you wonder a little bit about his. Now, again, as a Razorback fan, dude, I want him to stick around, until he's gone. Gone. But we all know that's not going to happen. However, as we like to do on this show, and as it happens, we have squirrel moments. My ADHD kicked in, and I had a thought during the break. When Arkansas brings that title home, we need to have Norm DeBryan out there with the team.
That could be good.
We need to have Norm DeBryan out there because I'm going to say this, and y'all can get pissed at me if you want to. There's no DVH without Norm.
No, that's 100% correct. I mean,
there is no Omaha without Norm, because if you guys have, for those of you that are real fans, y'all know the story of Norm DeBryan and how he fought Frank Royals to get baseball up and going because all the money was going to football.
Yep.
But shifting gears back, and like I said, we're going to watch and see how this all plays out. And if and when the announcement of DVH stepping down and retiring does happen, we will be right here to bring you instant reaction and everything else. Eric Jernigan says if TV came to Arkansas, it would be kind of like the same thing as Muss. He's an asshole, but he's our asshole. And yes, I did uncensor it because that's just how I am right now.
Yeah, that's fair. So our boy D-Mad getting a well-deserved night off tonight. He has a great point here. What about DVH becoming a GM or player personnel director and Vitello becomes the head coach? I don't know. I think if Dave decides to step away, he's going to completely sever the ties and go be grandpa.
Yeah. I mean, because remember, his daughter had triplets last year.
Yeah.
No, twins, triplets,
I think.
Was it
Somebody commented on that while ago.
Yeah. Brad Sayre says if we win, DVH is retiring. His daughter, his daughter had triplets last year, and he wants to spend time with them. Guarantee we get Tony V.
I'm not going to go so far as to guarantee it, but I think his name is definitely going to be at the forefront. Again, I'm not trying to push Dave into the rocking chair, but just, we're playing the what if game here. What if this happens? What if things go the way we want and Dave decides to go out on top?
This whole, and again, for those of you that are just joining us, this is all stemmed from observations that not only I made, but the fan base has made because it's all over Twitter.
Yeah, we're not the only ones talking about
how he
this.
reacted this past weekend, and throughout the game and then post game as well.
Yeah, I agree.
But I want to shift gears and look at the bracket for Omaha. Omaha starts Thursday night? Thursday or Friday?
Friday night. Friday. I've got the bracket here. Let me do a little screen share here. We'll pull it up.
By the way, I want to shout out an earlier comment. My daughter's watching from our YouTube channel, and my girlfriend asked. She says, "Does it have to be Texas Pete?" I don't think Texas Pete is hot. She's trying to kill me, dude.
We'll take you down to Bass Pro and get you one of those that's called like the ass kicker or something like that.
No. Y'all trying to damn kill me. Come on now. All right, so this is the bracket for Omaha, and again. Yep. The ESPN family of networks is where you can find it. And for those of you that are wondering, there's two brackets there. There's bracket one at the very top. You got Coastal Carolina and Arizona. Oregon State, Louisville, and then down at the bottom, you have UCLA, Murray State, and then Arkansas and LSU. Out of all of those matchups, how can you not say that the winner of Arkansas LSU wins the title?
I mean, I would think the winner of that game is definitely in the driver's seat at that point, because to me, that's far and away the two most talented teams in the field.
Now, everybody's bet. You know, if you listen to the talking heads and everything. Now, this is my question here. Everybody's picking Arkansas. Even Vegas thinks Arkansas's got the best chance to win it.
Yeah, and that scares the bejesus out of me.
However, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go throw up during the next break when I do say this. LSU has probably got the best 1-2 punch in baseball.
For pitching, yes. I would agree.
When it comes to pitching. Now, we've got the depth.
Yeah. We have the better bullpen.
We've got a better bullpen. So if we can get their starters out, if we can get their starter off the mound, we're gold.
That's the key. I think that's the key to winning on Saturday is you've got to get their starter out of there before the fifth inning.
We've got to do what we did to Liam Doyle in the Supers.
Yes, I agree.
We've got to do that. Now, outside of Arkansas LSU, my Cinderella team, of course, I want Arkansas to win it.
Right.
But my Cinderella team, Murray State. Murray State or Coastal.
Yeah, I really wish Murray State was in the other bracket because it would be really easy to root for them to get all the way to the championship game if they didn't have to go through Arkansas to get there.
Now, since you mentioned the other bracket, did you see who's in it?
I saw who's in it. Yeah. Yep.
How?
Yeah. Coastal Carolina. Yeah.
yeah, Coastal. All right. So I'm going to point this question to the fans. All right. Don't answer just yet. I'm going to see if the fans will respond to us. If it comes down to Arkansas and Oregon State, how do you guys feel about it?
Oh my God. I am not mentally prepared to go there right now.
Look, man,
because
okay, but seriously, let's break this down by bracket. Okay.
Right.
Let's break this down by bracket. Out of that top bracket, Louisville, Oregon State, Arizona, Coastal Carolina. Who's it going to be?
I mean,
it's going to be one of those four.
Yeah, I think Oregon State's the favorite. I think out of that bracket, Coastal's playing the best ball right now, but I think Oregon State will be the favorite.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. If it comes down to Oregon State, Arkansas, you best believe I'm going to be in the backyard doing rain dances, fire dances, praying to every deity up there. Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah. I'll go get the live chicken. I mean, at that point, I'll go get the live chicken and, give some kind of sacrifice to the baseball gods.
I'll go even bigger and go get a goat. Look, don't tempt me because I will do anything it takes to bring that to catch it.
Well, I mean, I think the fact of what all three of us, you, myself, and DMAT have all agreed to do if they win the title is proof enough that we're willing to do almost anything to get that title.
I would join you in going bald, but I've been given specific instructions that the beard and the hair is not to be touched.
Well, I was trying to think of what else I could do, and I'm like, well, I've already shaved my head, and I don't.
It would be.
It's not like I have, I don't have a Willie Robertson or ZZ Top beard to shave off. So, the best thing I could do is inflict physical pain on myself with the one chip challenge. So,
I don't know how you're going to recover from that. You better have a jug of milk next to you.
It'd be all right. Look, if they bring home the title and I have to do that, it'll so be worth it.
Now, I will tell you this. I will admit this live on air. If they bring home the title, they win it, I will cry like a teenage girl.
Yeah. Yeah. I will be crying like a girl from the 60s that went to an Elvis concert. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I have absolute zero shame about it because
I may even get a post on post game or this show. So
I'll say this, man, I honestly want this for Van Horn more so than I want it for myself. And y'all know, I mean, I like to win and I like to win big time, but it's only fitting. Dave's got to get a ring.
Okay, so I'm going to throw a what if at you, and don't come through the computer screen and strangle me. How wild would it be if you get a baseball title this year? Basketball breaks through next year, wins the national title, and somehow, you know what? I'm not going to say that. I'll say
no. Go softball instead.
You just read my mind. I was like, I can't rightfully say that. Well,
yeah,
softball.
Yeah, that rope will only stretch so far. We can't stretch it to put football in it. But
look, man, if I'd have said that, you can hang me with that rope.
I mean, I want Dave to get one. I want one for him so bad because the dude has accomplished everything there is to accomplish outside of that.
Okay.
I'm tired of making the Mike Martin comparisons at Florida State. I'm tired of the Mark Few comparisons at Gonzaga that he's great in the regular season and can't come through in the clutch in the postseason. I'm tired of all that. It's time for Dave to get his.
Yes. We're never giving Dylan another night off, by the way. I don't know if you saw it in our group chat. He says, if they win it all, I need ones up for an entire segment.
Look, I'll go. If they win it all, I'll go find a graphic of a one and just put it up on the screen for the whole time.
I'll just hold up a poster board like, the D.
Yeah. Like when they're calling plays in football, they got all the little emojis and everything on there. We'll get one with a one and we'll just sit here with it in front of us the whole time.
Yeah. We'll just keep it up there on the screen. No, yeah. I mean, when you look at these matchups, though, I mean, some of these, if you look at their trajectory, hey, I said that in one tape. If you look at their trajectory, their path, some of them struggled out of the gate. Mm-hmm. LSU struggled with
Little Rock.
Rock.
Well, Oregon State had to go through the losers bracket in their regional just to make the super regional.
Yeah. Murray State
that is such a great story.
There's look, for those of you that don't know, and I don't mean to cut you off, MC, but I didn't realize this. Their stadium, their home stadium.
Yep.
800 people.
Reagan Field or Reagan Stadium is what it's called. And if you've seen the pictures that are circulating around social, it looks like a subpar high school field. It looks like what you would expect a 1A or 2A classification high school baseball field to look like.
When I first saw the picture, I thought I was looking at a picture of Burns Park.
Man, when I went, so this past weekend, I worked a baseball and softball all-star game over at Riverside, which is Lake City, Arkansas. Baseball, softball state champions for Class 2A.
First of all, let me ask you this: how's the town over
there? Doing good, doing really good. Recovered really well from all the tornado damage, and they're doing really well. But the baseball facilities there at Riverside High School, they dwarf what you see from Murray State. I mean, the field and everything, it is a much better facility than what you see at Murray State. And that's a 2A school in the state of Arkansas.
To go, by the way, we want you guys in on the action. So if you've got a question or comment, leave it for us on our Facebook and YouTube, Camp Productions Live Fan Feedback. To go from 800 to who did they play in the Super? They played, it wasn't North Carolina, was it?
Duke. They beat Duke.
I knew it was North Carolina school.
Yeah.
To go from that to Chapel to
Durham.
From Durham to Omaha.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude. They're not going to know what to do in that environment. Coastal.
I mean, it's such a great story, man. And it's just, how can you not be romantic about baseball when you have a situation like that with Murray State? And it's just such a great story. I mean, the coach, this is a high school program, man. The coach mows the field himself. The players tarp the field themselves. This is high school level stuff. And this is a team that's going to Omaha.
Okay. So real quick, I'm going to throw this up here. She was talking about the graphic for the ones up.
Oh yeah.
I have the graphic. She found it. It took her less than 3 minutes to find that graphic.
Yeah.
But going back to the bracket though, one of the things, and I'd hate that Murray State's in our bracket. You said it better.
Yeah.
I wish they were across the bracket just so they could get to the finals, but because I'd hate to be the one to like put up 20 runs against them. But we got a title to win, y'all, and I show no mercy.
I saw a meme yesterday, and it was talking about what if Arkansas and Murray State match up in that second round, and it was playing the clip from Endgame where Thanos is talking about, I'm sorry, little one.
There was one.
It was very fitting.
There was one I saw on TikTok because there's edits all over the place.
Oh, all over. Yeah.
My favorite one, it stung a little bit, but my favorite one was Endgame, and it was talking about, I am inevitable. We tried it your way, and where did that bring you?
Right
back to me. And it was the drop foul ball. We tried it your way, and where did that bring you? Right back to me. Right back to Omaha.
Yep.
It stung a little bit, but I like it. But no, when you look at this, I mean, in all honesty, first off, props to what did I see? The ACC didn't have any teams in.
Let me go back and find that bracket again.
Because Louisville's in the ACC.
Louisville's, and then
I thought they were in the Big East.
Yeah, because Arizona's Big 12. Oregon State is, I think they're independent still, aren't they? They haven't joined the conference.
Yeah, they haven't joined. They're still.
Louisville's ACC. Okay, UCLA is the Big 10. Murray State is Ohio Valley or Missouri Valley, one or the other. I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah, it's Missouri Valley.
And then the two SEC teams.
You get past LSU, the level of competition drops drastically.
It does, but it doesn't. It does on paper, but when you get to Omaha, man, all of that goes out the window. All bets are off, and it's craziness. Tony Vitello was on that morning show of the two guys that we don't like to promote, but he was on there talking about the matchup between Arkansas and LSU.
You mean Bert and Ernie, or are you talking?
Yeah, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with Bert and Ernie. I like Bert and Ernie. That fits pretty well. But he was on with Bert and Ernie, breaking down the Arkansas LSU matchup, and he talks about. I mean, this is the guy that's coach of the defending national champs.
That's a good point, MC.
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing on that radio show?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're into twisting the tinfoil like I am, you could read way more into that than what you probably should, because I have. But he's breaking it down, and he's talking about when you get to this point in the year, it's madness. It's craziness, and everything that you look at on paper pretty much goes out the window because anything can happen when you get to Omaha.
Yeah, and I still don't think Caden Wallace's ball or Brady Slavin's ball.
Brady. Yeah. Swinging for Jesus.
I don't think that ball's landed yet. I think it's still, in orbit. But you're right. When you step onto that field in Omaha, it is a completely different atmosphere. But like you said before the break, there's just something different about this team.
Yeah. And every year is special in Omaha, but this one is special on the next level because it's the 75th anniversary of the College World Series. Now, again, let me tighten my tinfoil a little more here on my head. I like the way this is shaping up, man. I like the way it's shaping up. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to touch the money. Yeah. Not going to make any predictions. I'm just saying I like the way this is shaping up.
It just, to me, I mean, again, they're up and down the lineup all year long. There has just been something about this team especially in the face of adversity. Because I'm not going to lie, my hand was hovering over the panic button when we'd lost 3 straight. But I'm also a football fan. I'm also the football guy. So when we lose 3 straight, I'm freaking out.
Season's over.
I mean, essentially, yeah. But the way that they responded to that, and because in basketball, we talked about the Kentucky game being the turning point of that, and I think with this baseball team, those 3 series needed to happen, and they needed to happen in that order, like they did, not only to humble this team, but to humanize them.
Well, and when we had Chris Lanzelli on, he kind of talked about that a little bit. And he talked about how baseball is completely different from basketball and football in that first off, you're going to lose games unless you're LSU Shreveport. You're going to lose games. And when you lose games and you lose series, it sucks to lose, but it's not as impactful as it is losing a football game or losing a basketball game. Because you turn right around, you play pretty much the next day in baseball. Yeah. And it's just different. And Lanzelli talked about that. And if you want to hear that, it's in our archives. You can go back and watch any of the shows that Lanzelli's been on with us. He, very happy to have him on. He's been a great, great person to have on to talk about baseball because he's the guy that's lived it. Yeah. He's been to Omaha. He's been in the trenches, so to speak. So when that man speaks, we all shut up and listen because he knows what he's talking about.
Well, and at the same time, these guys have got to keep their emotions in check.
Mm-hmm. And I think for the most part they will.
I don't think. See, the last time they went was what, 22?
22. Yep.
I don't think there's anybody on this team that was on that squad.
Willie Mack and Kendall Diggs. I saw it earlier today. I think they are the only 2 that were on that 22 team. But they were there.
I'm gonna hold this, and I'm this is a hill I'm willing to die on. Willie Mack should have pitched in the Supers, even if it was one batter, one inning, just one time. He needed to have his swan song inside of Razorback.
And that's fair. That's fair. But I think if you ask him if he could have that one shining moment, so to speak, one more time in Baum Stadium, or he could have it in what is it, Charles Schwab Stadium now. I think he's going to pick that. And you called your shot earlier. I'm going to call mine now. At some point while this team is playing in Omaha, Kendall Diggs is going to have a moment that is going to be a difference maker. I'm calling it right now, man. Is he even
in the lineup?
He's on the bench, but there's going to be a moment where he's got a pinch hit for somebody. And I'm telling you, homeboy is going to come through because if this is going to be the storybook ending that we all want, what would be more storybook than him having a big moment where he brings in an RBI or hits a home run or whatever the moment may be, even if it's a sacrifice, but it moves a runner into scoring position that later on scores, even if it's as small as that. I'm telling you, Kendall Diggs will have an Omaha moment.
You know, the storybook ending would be
him to hit a walk-off in the championship.
No. That first baseman to catch a foul ball to end the game. Game 2. There, I said it. I don't care.
If it comes down to that again, I'm going to need the paddles to come out and shock me because I will go into cardiac arrest.
Big thank you, and I have a shirt for that. Big thank you to Trevor Kaiser for making this shirt for me because we're both first responders. He made me a shirt, and I will have this. I'll have it on during the series if we get to the championship series. I will have it on, but it's literally Cardiac Hog shirt, and it literally has the outline: "Place paddles here."
I mean, my wife may have to go live on Facebook just to show me laid out in the floor.
I'm pretty sure Amy's going to do the same thing. I'm pretty sure Amy and is going to do the same thing.
Start Saturday, man. I cannot wait. I am so excited about Saturday because you have 2 of the most rabid fan bases in the world converging on Omaha for the same game. I mean, I would not be surprised to see the attendance record broken for the 6 p.m. game on Saturday.
I may not sit down that whole game. I don't know.
Rocco's may not survive, man.
I don't know. All right. So we're going to take one more break, and then MC's got some Hog hoop.
I got some hoop news, baby.
All right. You're listening to Inside the Hawg Pen. Final 15 minutes coming up right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside The Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code Inside Hawg Pen. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code Inside Hawg Pen.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hawg Pen. Not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hawg Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hawg Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hawg Pen.
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Mix Design Studios.
Hi, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Final segment here on this Wednesday night. MC, during the break, I took off, I ran to the other end of the Hawg Pen.
Oh, there we go. I like it.
Big thank you to Trevor Kaiser for the shirt. I'm definitely going to be wearing it. But no, we've got, okay, so we've talked about baseball. And like I said, Saturday night, 6 p.m. ESPN.
ESPN, the mothership. You got your A+ announced crew, Carl Ravitch, and the guys that always call the College World Series. You're going to have them Saturday night for that game. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one.
But now, let me play this real quick. We haven't played this in a while.
Oh, wow.
If I can find it. There it is. You're muted, MC. He's so excited.
I'm so damn excited. I forgot to unmute my mic. I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
Yeah. All right, what you got, MC?
All right, so what do you want first? Do you want recruiting news or do you want schedule?
Give me recruiting news.
Okay.
I looked at the schedule earlier today, and I got a bone to pick with these people.
So there is one more piece that is most likely going to be added to the roster for basketball. You're seeing it several places. Our friends over at Hog HQ talked about this, I think, on their show Sunday night. And there is a big athletic 6'11" Russian. And I reached out to Matt Hart before the show, one of our good friends over at Hog HQ, on the correct pronunciation of this name. And I'm not going to attempt it. Matt sent me like an audio clip. So I'm going to play his audio clip here into the microphone for this guy's name. And let me make sure that my phone is turned up where y'all can hear this.
Elmir Zafik. Maybe Zafik.
There you go. So that's the big 6'11" Russian. He is, I think, what you would call like a swing forward, which is like a Scottie Pippen type of player. From what little bit I've seen on him, I don't know much about him. He was being recruited by several big names. Arkansas being one of them, Ole Miss being another one, that they were trying to bring this guy in. He's about 20, 21 years old. So he's a little older for a recruit. I guess he'd be the equivalent of maybe a junior. But he's likely to be added to the roster here within the next day or two. And I think that will probably be the final piece to the roster. But it's another big, it's probably a good replacement for a Duthero type. You know, I don't know. Now, look, I'm not saying this guy's going to be a Duthero, but he's a little bit taller. He's pretty athletic. So it's another good piece to add. I don't think we're going to have to worry about a 6 or a 7-man rotation coming into this next season, because
even Cal said, he, that was a mistake on my part for
right.
That. Because it bit him in the ass a couple times.
Yeah, it did. It got him a couple times when some guys got into foul trouble. It kind of got him, and lesson learned. And he said that it wouldn't happen again. So, all right. So that's your recruiting news. Your scheduling news. The SEC ACC matchups were revealed today, and I will throw this out here. And what I'm seeing on the graphic here, you can see all these matchups coming through, but there's one there that you don't see. You don't see Arkansas. Well, it was announced earlier today that Arkansas is going to be hosting the Louisville Cardinal for the ACC SEC Challenge.
But why wasn't that one on the graphic?
Well, I don't know. I thought it was on the graphic when I went to share it, and then I got to looking at it a little closer, and I'm like, oh, it's not here. So that's a snafu on my part. But Louisville coming into Bud Walton Arena. Now, in addition to that, so let's just check out what we know about the non-conference schedule right now.
I was just going to ask you about that.
Yeah. So we mentioned Louisville coming to Bud Walton Arena. That's going to happen in the ACC SEC Challenge. In addition to that, you have Baylor coming to Bud Walton Arena. You're going to play Duke on Thanksgiving Day in Chicago. And then it was announced last week that you're going to play Houston at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So you take all of those non-conference games, you combine that with a full SEC slate, which it was also announced today that you're only going to get Kentucky one time, but they're coming to the Bud this year. So schedule shaping up pretty nicely, looking like it's going to be a pretty stout schedule. I mean, you're talking Baylor, Duke, Houston, and Louisville in the non-conference. And then in conference, you're going to get Kentucky once. You're going to get Florida once. I believe that one will be in Bud Walton Arena this year, because I believe we went down to the O'Connell Center.
That one's going to be at Bud. That one's going to be at Bud. You've got Auburn coming in.
Yeah. So you could possibly have Auburn, Kentucky, Florida, Louisville, and Baylor all at Bud Walton this year.
That's
pretty stout, man.
I'm gonna call it, and it may kill you and D-Med, but I'm gonna call it now. Final Four, here we come, dude. I ain't worried.
Look, this roster is pretty loaded. If any of these incoming recruits live up to the hype that has been built around them, I mean, it could very easily be a Final Four season.
Well, and this is the thing I want everybody to remember. We got to the Sweet 16 with a rushed roster.
Yeah.
A rushed roster, and we still got to the Sweet 16. Can you imagine what this team's going to look like with a full year under Cal?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. And you've got the number one point guard, the number one shooting guard in the country coming in recruiting wise. You added 2 beasts down low in the portal. And then now you're adding this unknown potential X factor in the Russian coming over. I'm going to call him Drago because that's easier to say than what his name is. So we'll just call him Drago.
So, MC, I asked this before the show, and I'm not going to try to put you on the spot, but I am going to put you on the spot.
All right.
I think we need to do another pod exclusive.
Okay.
And I think it needs to be, what did I call it before the show? The revival.
If you hadn't asked, I could have told you.
The revival, the redemption,
resurgence.
The resurgence of the Basketball Palace of Mid-America. And now you're going to start getting teams in here going, I don't want to play Arkansas.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's about to the point now where you're looking at it and you have teams that are looking at it at their schedule and they're like, oh, crap, we got to go to Arkansas. So, yeah, I think we're bringing it back, man.
Yeah, I think we need to do that. On a football note,
oh God, do we have to bring down the whole mojo of the show? We had baseball to talk about, man. We're in Omaha.
This is why I saved it for the very last 15 seconds of the show. Here's the thing, y'all. You've got to remember, Arkansas is not all that great. And so we're going to have a lot of 11 o'clock kickoffs this year.
Including
Notre Dame.
Yep.
It was announced that Notre Dame, 11 o'clock kickoff. And that one's going to be on ABC, by the way. That one's going to be nationally televised.
I was trying to find that they released a graphic today with the game time windows is what they called it.
2 night games, I do believe. One at Missouri, and I believe the other one's either at Mississippi State or Auburn.
Well, and it's a flex, meaning that it might be a night game or it might be afternoon. I'm trying to work on pulling that up. Hang on. Let me see if I can get that into.
But the point I'm trying to make is y'all don't be cussing out each other out because of these 11 o'clock kickoffs. All right. Arkansas has to earn the right to play in prime time, because here's the thing. If you're a 2-10 football team, but you've got Alabama, LSU, do you really want to put Arkansas in that time slot?
Well, I mean, the first 2 games are here on the schedule. We'll just run through this real quick. Alabama A&M and versus Arkansas State and Little Rock. Those are both going to be, one of them is, I think it's 2:15. The other one is going to be 3 o'clock our time, because the times listed here are going to be Eastern.
No, that's
is that Central? Oh, it's 3:15. That's 3:15. So it's Central.
And 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 3:15 and 4 o'clock.
And the
first 2 games, take your sunscreen.
That Arkansas game needs to be a 6 o'clock kickoff.
I do not understand why those 2 games have to be in the heat of the day in the afternoon instead of a 6 or even a 7 o'clock kickoff. I understand TV runs things, but the Arkansas State game is already on Plus to begin with. So why not just move it to 6 o'clock? Let everybody, do whatever they're going to do all day, whether they're going to sit here.
Arkansas real inebriated.
Yeah. I mean, night game, 6 o'clock. And then you go at Ole Miss is going to be a night game, obviously. At Memphis is a TBA. I'll be shocked if that's anything other than an 11 or 11:30 game. Notre Dame's 11 a.m. At Tennessee is a flex. That'll probably be, I could see that being a 3 o'clock SEC network type of deal.
Actually, I think A&M will be at 3 o'clock too.
Probably. Auburn is going to be, it says early. That's 11. That's got 11 a.m. written all over it.
Yeah, that's 11 a.m. all over it. What is that? At Mississippi State?
That's a versus Mississippi State.
Oh, versus.
So we get them at home. So that'll probably be another 3 o'clock game. You're not going to get there's nothing on this schedule that I see that's going to get you the prime 2:30 ABC slot.
Now, the only thing. Now, wait a minute. All right, okay. No, I'm reaching for the stars there. I'm going to shut up.
These games that say flex.
Well, the only way, by some miracle, the only way you're going to get that 2:30 time slot, especially against like an LSU or a Texas, is if both of you guys are ranked going into that game, and I highly doubt it.
Look, Arkansas is not going to be ranked at that point in the season. Okay. It's not going to happen.
Oh, they're going to be ranked, but
rank maybe like
whoa,
ranking rank. You know, that'll be the only kind of ranking they have for football.
Wow.
But like these games that are marked flex, like versus Texas A&M, I'll say this: I'm actually shocked that, you know, because this is to be the first year that Texas A&M is going to be on campus and not at Jerry World. The fact that we got them coming to Fayetteville this year is shocking to me. I expected to have to go to Kyle Field first off, but we get them at home. That's a flex game. There is I'm going to say a minuscule potential for that to be a 6 o'clock kickoff. Versus Auburn, 11 a.m. written all over it. Mississippi State, 3 o'clock SEC Network. LSU has the early designation, which means it's going to be an 11 a.m. Texas at Texas will be a flex.
Y'all going to have to wake up early, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Arkansas's got to.
You got to win some of these games. If you want more night games, you got to win more than 6 games a year. That's just all there is to it. Because if you look back to when, you know, and I hate to go back to this time, but this is the most recent sustained success that this program has had. If you go back to the 2010, 2011 seasons, go back and look at how many night games there were, how many prime time matchups there were.
Every single week, it was a 6:30, 7 o'clock kickoff. I think we even had like an 8:30 kickoff at one.
Dude, we even had a game against Troy that was a night game because I went to it. So we played UTEP on a night game in November.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you what ESPN thought of us at the time. So, you know, that's how far this program has fallen. You got to win some of these. If you want moving forward to have night games, you got to steal some of these games.
We're not going to be 6-0 going into Tennessee. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
No, nobody has to worry about me having to do a show shirtless because we are not going to be 6-0 going at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would actually be 5-0 going to Tennessee.
I will be purposely cheering for Notre Dame in that game, just so we don't have to do the shirt.
We don't have to do the shirt.
I would say Memphis, but you know, bum. I'm nine kinds of hell about it.
No,
and I'm damn sure not going to cheer for Arkansas State. Sorry, buddy.
We're going to catch enough flack from our buddy Bum over the game being at Memphis anyway.
I'm gonna call him and see. I may have to make a trip up there, and you and I may need to go crash Liberty Bowl Stadium.
If as long as that game does not overlap when my son's playing, I'm an hour from Memphis. So if I'm only gonna be able to make one game all year long, it'll probably be that game over at the Litter Box, as it's known.
Right. So, all right. Final thoughts as we get out of here tonight. Wait a minute. One announcement. Actually, 2. September 6th at the Arkansas State game. Mm-hmm. Inside the Hawg Pen will be broadcasting live once again this year. We will be live. We'll be hosting a tailgate party. Big thank you to James Harris of Harris Made Chef Services.
Big shout out to him
again. We're going to be broadcasting out there all day, and we're working on a surprise right now. I'm working some back channels to get a surprise, but we may have something big in store for that game. So y'all stay tuned to ITHP for that. Check me out Friday morning, 10 a.m. on the Dave Ellswick Show, as always. And then October 11th. For our 5th year in a row, we're going to be back at the Litter Oktoberfest as MC, and not him, but MC, Master of Ceremonies.
Well, look, again, disclaimer, as long as it doesn't overlap with my son's game
or something,
your boy may show up at the beer fest.
Uh-oh. So be sure to mark your calendars for that. Come out, say hi. Trust me, I know it's a game day, but I'll have everything covered. I'll have wall-to-wall coverage starting from the first kickoff at 11 o'clock, probably going till the final game goes at 10. So y'all don't worry. For those of you that were out there last year, Matt Hart, fantastic job. He will probably be back again this year. So I'm excited to have him back in the co-pilot seat, along with MC if he shows up, man. I'm excited to have MC down here.
I'm going to try to make it down there, man. No guarantees right now because I don't know the schedule for my son's football league yet. But if I can at all swing it, I'm going to come down for that. So be sure you guys mark your calendars for that. And then we've got some things in the pipe that we're working on. We're not going to take a very long off season, so you won't be going very long without seeing us again. Like I said, whenever baseball season's over,
We're going to do our season 9 wrap up or season 8 wrap up. Then we're going to take a couple weeks off, kind of recharge and kind of reset and make some changes around and things like that. Kind of freshen things up like we always do. And then we'll be back probably mid-July and start breaking down football.
Yeah, right about the time they do media days and such.
All right, MC, final thoughts as we get out of here.
Attendance record in serious jeopardy for Charles Schwab Stadium Saturday night, 6:00. You have two of the most rabid fan bases in all of college baseball converging on one location for what will be a truly epic first round matchup in Omaha. And I think it's going to go our way, guys. I really do. I really think we're going to have a good night Saturday night. X factor in that game is Aloy, but it won't be Vahiva. It'll be Cahillo.
Oh, damn. All right. Way to hit that one out of left field. Pun intended. I would have come unglued if you'd have said, never mind. That's not the only record I think falls. I think the shot falls at Rocco's too. I think the shot record falls. Jello shot record falls at Rocco's.
It could.
But look for a surprise team to be in the lead. I don't think it's LSU that's going to break that record.
We'll just leave that to your imagination.
We're going to leave that to your imagination. Plus, for post game Saturday night, be tuned in. The Allen Kerr Advisors 10th inning post game show, because we may have something big. We may have something big, and I mean huge, monumentally huge.
Yep.
And I don't mean an Arkansas win either, because that's going to be obvious. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great week, safe weekend, and y'all don't do anything stupid. And y'all know what I'm talking about. If you guys have watched the news, don't do anything stupid. All right. We love you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We are closing in on 10 years of ITHP. Wow. Holy crap. Wow. Anyway, before I go down that rabbit hole, I hope everybody has a great night until Saturday night. You've been watching and listening an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. For Marcus MC Carlton, I'm Razorback Zach. Until next time. So long, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider, and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.